your first video for Chapter 3. In Chapter 3, we're going to talk about linear functions, okay? Equations of a line is basically all that is. So let's first off talk about just a couple of definitions that you'll need to know. The first is a linear equation, and basically that's just any equation that forms a line when you graph it. All right, so a linear equation is just any equation that forms a line when it is graphed. All right, when you graph it on the coordinate plane, it's going to be a straight line. Standard form of a linear equation is ax plus by is equal to c. A, b, and c, okay, are just numbers. They're just integers. A has to be greater than or equal to 0, which basically means it can't be a fraction or negative. A and B both can't be 0. One of them can be 0, but they can't both be equal. They cannot both equal 0. And A, B, and C, their GCF has to be 1 for A, B, and C. You can't have a greatest common factor other than 1 for it to be in standard form. Okay, so let's look at some examples of what I'm talking about. Determine whether each equation is a line equation, a linear function, okay, or linear equation, and then write the linear equation in standard form. So look at this one. Look at number 1. Can we get it in standard form? Remember, standard form is ax plus by is equal to c. Okay, where a, b, and c are just numbers. All right, so let's see if we could rewrite this. I could add 2x to both sides. So that's 2x plus y is equal to 5. Is that in standard form? Yes, it is, because that's just like a 1 there, isn't it? I don't have to put that 1 there. But in this case, my a is 2, my b is 1, and my c is 5. So 2x plus y is equal to 5 is in standard form. Again, just remember those criteria that I gave you. A has to be greater than 0. A and B both can't be 0, and they can't have a common factor greater than 1. All right, look at this one. 3x plus 9y is equal to 15. All right, is that a linear equation? Well, it's in the form ax plus by is equal to c. All right, does it meet our criteria that I gave you? Is a greater than 0? Yes, it's 3. Are a and b both equal to 0? No. Is there a greatest common factor other than 1? Yes. Look at this. Every one of these, look at my 3, 9, and 15. What's my greatest common factor for those? It is 3. So I could divide everything in there by 3. Can I do that to the equation and not change its value? Yeah, I can do anything I want to as long as I do it to both sides. So that's really just going to be x plus, excuse me, 3y is equal to 5. So yes, it is in standard form, and there it is in its simplest form. It is a linear equation, and there it is in standard form. All right, look at number 2. 2xy minus 5y is equal to c. Is that a linear equation? Well, looking at it, I can tell no, that it's not. Do you see why? Because right here, that x and that y times each other. Is that in standard form? No, it's something times x plus something times y equals another number. Can't have x times y. So no, that is not in standard form. All right, look at number 4. X plus 1 over y, that could really be written like this. X plus 1 over y is equal to 3. Is that in standard form? Is it in the form of ax plus by equals 3? Well, I could write that as 1x hold on, excuse me, let me get my eraser. I could write that as 1x, but what am I going to do with that y in the denominator? Because that y is in the denominator, that makes that not a linear equation. I cannot write that in standard form because of that y in the denominator. So some of the things you need to watch out for is like if you have a variable here, two variables together being multiplied together, if you have a variable in the denominator, that's going to make it not a linear equation. And another one you may want to watch for is if you had something like this. Is that a linear equation? No, it would not be because of that squared term. So watch and make sure you don't have a variable multiplied by a variable, that you don't have a variable in the denominator, and that you don't have a squared term or a power other than 1 on any of your variables. Okay, so now we've talked about whether something is a linear equation. Now let's get down to where we're going to graph them. You may want some graph paper for this. It says graph by making a table. All right, all we're going to do is we're going to pick in some values for x and plug them in and see what y is equal to, and then we're going to graph those ordered pairs. Okay, and then you're going to have your line. So all I'm going to do right here is put in my equation, y equals 5 minus 2x. And let's pick in some values for x. Let's do 1, -1, 0, 2, and -2. And then let's just plug them in. Y is equal to 5 minus 2 times 1. So that's just really y is equal to 5 minus 2. So y is equal to 3. So my ordered pair is 1, 3, because my x was 1 and my y is 3. Plugging in -1, y equals 5 minus 2 times -1. So that's really y is equal to 5 plus 2, which is 7. So my ordered pair is -1, 7. Plugging in my next one, y is equal to 5 minus 2 times 0. So y is equal to 5 minus 0, which is just 5. So my ordered pair is 0, 5. Plugging in my next one, y is equal to 5 minus 2 times 2. So y is equal to 5 minus 4, which is 1. So my ordered pair is 2. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with that. 2, 1. Plug in my next one, y is equal to 5 minus 2 times -2. So that's really going to be y is equal to 5 plus 4. So my ordered pair then is -2, 9. And let's just plot those ordered pairs then. And that's going to be hard for me to do on this iPad, so you're just going to have to bear with me here. I've got to go to 1, 3. Just plotting those points. -1, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 0, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 1. And -2, -9. And there's my line. Now you'll need your ruler. I can't do a very straight line on my iPad, but there you go. It should look like that. That is the graph of that line. I just graphed that line using a table. So it's really simple. All you're doing is just plugging in the points and then graphing the line. Okay? Look at another one. What about one like this? We got x plus 2y equals 6. So again, the same thing. X plus 2y is equal to 6. If you wanted to solve that for x, you could do that and put x equals 6 minus 2y. Or you can do just like you did. I'm just going to put in numbers again. 0, 1, 0, -1, 2, and -2. And I'm just going to plug those in for x. So 1 plus 2y equals 6. So 2y equals 5. So really y is going to equal to 5 over 2. So my ordered pair is just going to be 1. And it's hard for me to think 5 over 2. So that's really what, 2.5. So it's just going to be 2.5. Plug it in my 0. 0 plus 2y equals 6. So 2y is equal to 6. So y is going to equal to 3. So my ordered pair is 0, 3. Negative 1 plus 2y equals 6. So 2y is equal to 7. So y is going to equal to 7 halves. So my ordered pair is negative 1 and 3 1/2. Plugging in my next point, which is 2, it's going to be 2 plus 2y is equal to 6. So 2y is equal to 4. So y is going to equal to 2. So my ordered pair is 2, 2. Plugging in my next one, negative 2 plus 2y is equal to 6. So 2y is equal to 8. So my y is going to equal to excuse me, my y is equal to 4, so my ordered pair is negative 2, 4. Again, I'm just going to plot those points, and then I'm going to have my line. So if my ordered pair is 1, 2 1/2, so I'm going to go up to about 2 1/2, 0, 3, negative 1 and 3 1/2. That's really closer to 4, I think. I have to do the best I can here. 2, 2. And negative 2, 4, and then you have your line, and you have graphed that line just making a table. All right, I have 2 more I want to show you real quick, just 2 more real quick circumstances. Look at this one, x is equal to negative 5. So doesn't matter whatever I put in, x has got to be equal to negative 5. It doesn't matter what my y is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, negative 1, negative 500. It doesn't matter. X has got to be equal to negative 5. So my points here would be like what? Negative 5, 1, negative 5, 2, and so on. So if I went to negative 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, negative 5, 2, negative 5, 3, and I could just keep going on. My line is actually going to be a vertical line. That's where x is always equal to negative 5. Okay, so get that straight. It's hard sometimes you think, but why? The y-axis is my vertical axis. But that's y can change. Y is different, but my x always has to be equal to negative 5. The opposite is true. Look at this one, where I have y is equal to 6. It doesn't matter what I put in for my x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My ordered pair would be 1, 6, 2, 6, and so on. Y is always going to be equal to 6, so what do you think this line is going to look like? Well, if the x is equal to something that's a vertical line, y equal to something must be a horizontal line. So if I go 1, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 6, and so on, I'm going to have that horizontal line. So that is graphing a line by making a table. Okay, I'm going to stop here for tonight, and we will continue later. Have a great night. See you tomorrow, and remember, Jesus loves you.